Hi everyone, I'm Sam Boyer and back with another strange tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create metallic or reflective materials with objects from Magica Voxel in Unity, and that was quite a big mouthful. This is Magica Voxel here. We have this strange scene that I've created, and it's just to show off how different materials can have different properties in Unity. So the way that materials work in Magica Voxel is that each colour has its own part of the palette here, so you can see this centre orb in the middle here is blue, and when I go into the rendered view it's got its own unique metal material, and if I light right you can see it reflecting the other pillars. So we want to achieve this effect in Unity. So the first thing we're going to do is export it as an OBJ file, and then we are going to locate this OBJ file. So we want to copy the OBJ, the MTL and the PNG into our Unity project area. Now this is very similar to if you wanted to do this normally, so I'm just going to rush through that. Now what you want to do with this texture, if I open this now, this, as you can see, is the normal Magica Voxel palette. It's got all the colours for each material, so I'm just closing that. Now what you want to do is you want to copy and paste this, and I'm going to rename this Metal, because this is the texture that we're going to use for the metallic properties. Now I'm going to open this again to edit it, and I use paint.net to edit my images. You can use whatever you want as long as you get the same effect. Now what you want to do is you want to make a new texture that's grayscale. Basically what this one's going to do is define which materials are going to be reflective or not. So a completely white colour would, that basically means 100% reflectivity. So this orb, that's the colour of the orb in the centre, so I'm just going to colour that white, and then everything else can be black. There we go. So I'm just going to save this now. So this is effectively our metallic map, I'm going to call it for now. And let's close that. So we have our metal map, our normal diffuse map, the object and the MTL file. So I'm going to open Unity now. This is just an empty scene that I've made here. So Unity very nicely does most of the import settings for us, so it's got all this done. But one important thing that we have to do first is make sure that the textures have imported properly. So make sure that the texture type is a texture. We don't want any filtering because it's just normal pixels. This one's incredibly important. On the metal map, you need to change it to texture and make sure that alpha from grayscale is checked. That has to be checked or else it doesn't work. Change the filter mode to point again and apply. So there we go, everything's set. Now I'm just going to drag this object into our scene here. So I'm just going to zero this. There we go. So that's looking good already, but what we want to do is we want to add our reflectivity. So we want to locate the material here. It should be in this materials folder. And as you can see, the albedo map is already mapped to the normal text, to the standard color texture. So you also want to assign the metal map. So you just do this by clicking on the metal texture and dragging it into this box next to the metallic value. So there we go, it's dragged in like that. You can see this orb in the middle has gone black. That basically means that it doesn't have anything to reflect yet, so it's just completely black. Now what we want to do, we want to select on this default object here and create an empty child. And I'm just going to move this into position. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can get the reflection probe to be in the perfect location, such as the center of this cube. You can put the reflection probe center anywhere you want. It's just easier if it's in a separate game, object. So I'm going to add a component and I'm going to search for reflection probe, or you can go to rendering and reflection probe, it's just there. So what you want to make sure is that all the objects you want to reflect are within this small cube that it's made here. So I'm just going to go to 30, I think that should do, 30 there, and 30 there. So as you can see, the rest of this scene is within the cube, which is important. We're going to change the type from baked to real time, and the refresh mode to unawake. I think that should be good for now, and you can see already that the reflection probe has made something at the bottom. That seems to be all ready now, I think. I'm just going to check and make sure that everything's okay when I press play. And yeah, everything seems to be working fine. So you can see in the center we have this orb that is reflecting the pillars. If I can get it to align. There we go, that's looking very good. So one thing I just want to mention is that the resolution of this reflection probe isn't too high by default. So what you might want to do is just change that. You can just change that resolution here, maybe set it to 512. It just makes it look a bit nicer. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, and as you can see, I'm just adding a sphere to what's a sphere? Yeah, I'm just adding this sphere to show you that it's working properly. If I change this reflection probe refresh mode to every frame as it is now, you should be able to see it. Yep, you can see it on the mirror itself. But yeah, I think that's really cool, how it can display things like that in real time. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please subscribe for more. If you have any specific tutorials you'd like to see, please leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.